Man in boxing led the Flair Cops. Shout out to Goodfellas Sports TV. Woo!
So they saying that Frank Martin might have an eye injury. He did an IG interview, and they talking about he kept his shades on, and now it's a rumor coming out. They saying down there in Dallas that he suffered an eye injury in sparring. Okay, let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. But it's always something with Tank Davis fights, and I speak on Shakur too. It's always something with Tank Davis fights. You know, and you got to understand too. A lot of guys don't like sparring with certain headgear. You know, I guess it takes some of the vision away, because you got the sparring headgear. They got the opening, like they got it cut like this, and they got the opening. Then I done seen the ones that got the real tight enclosure, where the guard is just like a little small window slit. Like, I don't know what they call them, but like that, and that would have more protection for the eye. But I would imagine getting used to like sparring with that is probably a little, either or, it's kind of uncomfortable. But if it's to protect the eye for a fight, you gotta do it with the regular open version. I can see how eye injury can happen. And you got some guys that just think they so sweet, they can spar without headgear on and everything sweet. But when you got, you know, when you got millions on the line for two families, you know, in some cases, multiple families, if they cancel the whole card, they ain't a good look. But before one of Tank's press conferences, he had a black eye. Before, you know, I forget what fight. It was a fight a long time ago, the opening press conference. I mean, we don't know how bad the eye is. You know, you had shades on inside, like you that lazy eye nigga from Oakland, where they say he really ain't from Oakland. You know, you got them shades on like that, man. You know, people gonna question it, and shit happen in sparring, you know. But how bad is the eye? I mean, at this point, he got a week to heal. Like, I think the interview was a couple days ago. So at this point, he got a week to heal that eye. And like I said before, with all that medicine they got, I mean, he can vitamin C it up, sea moss it up. That help you heal. Vaseline it up. But long as it ain't bad enough where the commission can't clear him, which I don't really see that being the case, because if it's that bad where he got some type of damage, you know, you might as well call the replacement in right now, and probably the logical replacement would be move Isaac Cruz up and fight Tank Davis. I think that's what they would do, and find somebody else on the undercard or around to fight Rayo, or just pay Rayo just to go away. I don't think Rayo on an undercard. My bad. They on the them jokers on the Bud card, so I don't know what they would do. But somebody probably on the card they can move in and fight Tank. But there's always something in there, man. I feel like he only fought Frank Martin because Frank Martin looked bad in his last performance. That's just my opinion. And I could be really, really far off. That's my opinion on it. That's why I feel like he fought Frank Martin, because he looked bad his last performance. He like, all right, I'll fight him. But if it's an eye injury, I don't think, you know, people ain't gonna take nothing away from Tank. He the favorite. People love Tank, and they're willing to turn on Errol Spence for Tank. So that should tell you a lot about the situation as well too. So that should tell you a lot about the situation as well too. So you know, you know, nonetheless, man, it's just something that they there's something that they got to figure out to be real, and I think he'll figure it out. You know, they'll figure it out. But in my humble opinion, man, you know, he can't call this off. You know, he ain't fought in a minute. The money good, and but now it kind of puts some type of cloud over Tank fight. If he do got an eye injury, and depending on what eye it is it his lead right eye being a southpaw? Then is it his back eye? I mean, we seen versus Hector Luis or Garcia. When he hit Garcia, he said his eye was messed up and the fight just had to end. So, but I mean, about a week to heal, about a week and a half to heal. He should be able to be A1 in my opinion. He should be able to be A1. So I think about a week and a half. I think he should be all. I mean, you know, put some steak on the eye. Remember they used to do that shit, man. You know, just do what you got to do. Does that hamper his sparring? I mean, I told y'all, rumor out of Munguia camp is that he couldn't spar. I think for like I ain't gonna give you. It was for around, I don't know. I don't want to lie, but he couldn't spar for like a while before the Canelo fight because he suffered a cut. So these dudes do everything for the money. That's what you got to do. Understand? They do everything for the money. When you fight once or twice a year, like you can cancel the fight and push it back to another date or hop on another card, you may not get another fight till next year, and it probably ain't gonna be as lucrative as this. So this is why these dudes are fight dudes on pads. This is why these dudes are fight dudes with an injury or whatever like that, because you just can't afford to push it back because you need the money. And you know the fight dates ain't as plentiful as they once were. So but with Frank, I mean, shit, y'all do what you got to do. You know, I mean, you could have suffered an eye injury in the fight, and you would have had to deal with it. I understand it's the fight. You was able to spar and train regularly and all that, but you know, whoever the sparring partner was that caused the damage, if there's some damage. If not, you know, if they just using it to sell a fight. But that's the rumor. Suffered an eye injury. It's probably just a regular black eye. You know, but right before a fight, you know, that fight healed, you know, that punch healed. That eye might be healed enough in time, but, you know, it's still going to be tender. You're probably going to be able to swell up quite quickly again, too. So, I mean, you know, you apply the same strategy that you was applying if you got a, you know, swell or cut. Hey, don't let him hit it. You know, you hoping it's not the lead eye. You know what I'm saying? If it's the lead eye, he going to be in some trouble. You know, it's that front. If that lead eye can cause some trouble, but nobody really gave him a chance. But, you know, even though, you know, some people say this is toughest opponent, but if you turn around and say, well, he got a black eye or he got a fucked up eye, it's like, man, you know, you beat a hampered Frank Martin. You know, maybe this might make Frank Martin fight better. I got a messed up eye, so I got an excuse for why I lost. And then also, you know, he talked about, I just throw this all in one video, it's a rematch clause. And, you know, at the end of the day, I just feel like Tank ain't a confident person. You know, I just don't feel like he a confident guy. What you need a rematch clause for versus Frank Martin. He need all this in his favor. And like I said before, people say, you be hating on Canelo, man. I just call it how I see him. Same thing with Tank. I just don't see he earned nothing in boxing. Everything was given to him. He ain't earned a motherfucking thing in the sport of boxing. So they gave it to him. So when did he earn the right to get a rematch clause and earn the right to drain people? And they just giving shit to people that don't. I understand, okay, he got a fan base because he stood next to Mayweather, and that's just what it boiled down to. No Mayweather, he still would be a good fighter, but, you know, that's why people so hostile and so emotional over him. It was the same thing with Earl Spence. It's the alignment with PBC and Mayweather. So a lot of people vicariously, you know, with Mayweather gone, living through them two dudes. At the end of the day, I feel like if he was any good, if he was any good, you know, he would have been stepped it up. That's just my opinion. He would have been fought somebody. And he say, well, I'm going to fight this guy and that guy, and I'll do this, that, and the third. But every time he got a fight and a space and opportunity, he quiet as a church mouse. So him needing a rematch clause, just let you know if any fight going to happen of epic proportions or the fights that people really want to see, it's going to be like Ryan Garcia. It's going to be a 360 deal. Matter of fact, that shit going to be a 180 deal, a 150 deal, where you got to take a real low offer, real lopsided contract, weight in his favor and all that shit just to beat him. And I'm just thinking, like, bro, you ain't did what Manny Pacquiao did to get where Manny Pacquiao got. You ain't did what Floyd did to get the Floyd got. And I say the same thing about Canelo. Them niggas just preordained them dudes to, you know, to have opportunity to do this shit, man. They ain't earn nothing. It's like a lot of people raising their kids and they just want to give the kids the life they never had, but they don't earn nothing. They just give. And when it's time to get out there and earn their keep, they ain't know how to, you know, cut the grass and, you know, how to clean the house before they was able to go outside, or they ain't have to cut the grass and do the bushes and plant some flowers and do housework and, you know, remember, you know, sweep the street. Remember, had to sweep the curves and sweep the sidewalk and shit, or blow it down, and you know, empty out the grass bag and all that shit, or pour it behind the garage and shit. Like, they had to do none of that, get their hands dirty. Prune some trees, wash some windows, get on the roof and do some work, fix the antenna or lay some shingles. They ain't had to do none of that shit. Change the oil, change tires, learn how to, fix a flat on your bike and all. They ain't had to learn how to do none of that. They was able to hit the streets without having to put the work in. They was giving money without having to do anything to earn the money. Not understanding that, if you don't work, you don't eat. They don't understand that. They eating without working. They getting privileges without working. And that's going to catch up with you, bruh. You can never be the best that you can be unless you got to understand that you got to grind and shine. And this is what a lot of these dudes don't understand out here, who, we talked about LaShawn McCoy and, niggas like Floyd, who rich tricks. They so far removed from their humble beginnings, they think their money open every door. And then when a chick, find a dude with more money, or a chick find a dude who got less money than them, but got status and got motion, or she like him for him, they can't fathom and understand it, so they start hating. You know what I'm saying? Niggas start hating. Money don't make you taller. Money don't make you more. It don't make you like a chick really more desired to you, more desirable to a chick. It don't. It just make you a high value target. Simple as that. They're gonna use you. They're gonna use you up like Bill Weathers and then toss you to the curb with no remorse. But Shakur Stevenson real quick went on to say that Frank Martin ain't got nothing but a puncher's chance. He said he ain't hating. He said, Tank said, you started boxing at 15. I learned at 8. It's a big difference between that. When somebody started boxing, he was with Sean Dizelle. Sean Dizelle got his own channel now. Shout out to him. He said it's a big difference. Took him long enough. But he says it is a difference when you talk about that. And he right. It's exceptions to the rules. Gabriel Rosado done beat people that started younger. I mean, Sergio Martinez beat Kelly Pavlik. He whooped a bunch of ass that been fighting forever. So you really got to be a special fighter to start late. George Foreman, he started super duper late and became the top of the welterweight heavyweight division for a minute. So, I mean, there are exceptions. I think it's more likely to happen at the heavyweight division because they don't have to be that skilled. It's more about physicality than skill in a lot of the fights. But Shakur Stevenson say Frank Martin Tank gonna cook Frank Martin because Frank Martin is a C-level fighter. And, at the end of the day, bro, it's gonna be hard to separate, what Shakur true intentions is when it's regarding Frank Martin, because Frank Martin pulled a switcheroo on him. And the way Shakur Stevenson looked that night versus Edwin De Los Santos, Frank Martin probably could have did something with him. But, with some money issues behind the scenes, it was more about, Frank Martin and PBC and Arrow than it was with Top Rank, and they really didn't want to let him cross the street. That's what it boiled down to, in my opinion. So, Shakur said basically Frank Martin ain't got no chance. That Tank gonna cook him, and that he ain't the best fighter that Tank ever fought. That Tank has fought better fighters than him. So, I respect the opinion. But that's why they fight the fights. But if he got an eye injury, it's going to be an uphill battle. It's going to be an uphill battle if he got an eye injury. So, if that's the case, he's suffering an eye injury, it's going to be an uphill battle. So, he best be prepared for that. Because if he suffer an eye injury, it's going to be an uphill battle, my boy. It's going to be an uphill battle. It's going to be an uphill battle. So, we'll see. But yeah, let me know what you girls and guys think about it. But it's supposed to be one of the biggest fights of the year, man. So I look forward to it. But if the eye injury and all that stuff come into play, it could work against Frank, which most people think it would. And maybe he like, well, shit, I ain't got shit to lose. Ain't no pressure. I already got an eye injury. So, but hey, got two southpaws in the ring. Two guys that can punch. But if he's compromised going into the ring, it's going to take away a little bit of the luster of the fight. But it is what it is. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Kick, Twitch, Anchor, everywhere. Check out the Patreon. Shout out to the brothers and sisters that support the Patreon. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Goodfella TV. Check out the Box Rumor and Box News playlist. Peace.